to another episode of PSLE Science Made Simple. I'm Chen Hong and I'm a PSLE Science specialist here at the Pique Lab. In this video, I'll be analysing a past year examination question on the topic of adaptations. I have also prepared this question for you to download for free by clicking a link in the description box below. So, let's get started. Question 4. Animal A lives in the desert. The graph below shows how the temperature of the desert affects the activity level of animal A throughout the entire day. So when we look at this graph, we can divide this graph into two. The first portion will be before noon, and the second portion will be afternoon. Let us look at the first portion before noon, where the time is from midnight to noon. We know that from midnight to noon is when the night turns into day, and the sun will be rising. So when the sun is rising, the temperature will also be increasing, which is exactly what the graph tells us. But what do we realize about animal A's activity level when the temperature is increasing? It's its activity level increasing or decreasing. From the graph, we can see that the activity level is decreasing, and this tells us about how the animal behaves. Do you think animal A likes to work in the day or in the night? Animal A likes to work in the night because from the graph we can see that the activity level is high at night while the activity level is low in the day. When we look at the second portion of the graph where the time is stated from noon to 11:59 p.m., this is when the sun is setting and the temperature is decreasing. From here, we can see that the animal's activity level increases, which also tells us that it likes to work in the night. From this whole graph, we can tell that animal A does not like to work in the day, and if I were to provide an explanation for this, it could be that the day is simply too hot for this animal to move about, and the animal might prefer to rest in the shade or burrow underground to stay cool. So now that we have understood the graph, let us look at the question below. Which of the following conclusions can you make about animal A based on the graphs? Let's take a look at statement A. It survives in the desert by burrowing underground in the day. According to our discussion earlier, could it be that animal A burrows underground to survive? Yes, so let us put a tick for statement A. Next, statement B. It is able to survive in the desert because it hibernates. For animals to hibernate means they will go to sleep for a long time to conserve energy because there's a lack of food. Furthermore, hibernation usually occurs over a few months, which means that they go to sleep for a long time, causing their activity level to be low for a long time as well. So when we look at the activity level of animal A in the graph, we want to see that the activity will always be low if it's hibernating. But when you look at this graph, there are some parts whereby the animal activity level is high. So do you think animal A is hibernating? No, animal A is not hibernating because its activity level is high at night. And this tells us that animal A is moving around at night and not hibernating. So let us put a cross for this statement. Statement C. Its behavioral adaptation helps it to survive in the desert. Have we discussed about behavioral adaptation earlier on? No, we have not. So let us do a short discussion about the types of adaptation you have learned in P6. The first type of adaptation is called structural adaptation, which refers to the physical feature that an organism has, which basically means a feature that this organism is born with. The second type of adaptation is called behavioral adaptation, which refers to the things that an organism does, which means an activity that an organism will carry out. But no matter what kind of adaptations there are, all kinds of adaptations will help an organism to survive better in its habitat. So if you look at this question talks about activity level. Do you think this question is referring to structural or behavioral adaptation? This question is referring to behavioral adaptation, which helps animal A to survive better in the desert. So do you think statement C is correct? Yes, statement C is correct. Let us put a tick. Lastly, statement D. Its activity level decreases when the temperature increases. Look at the graph again. Which part of the graph shows you an increase in temperature? Is it before noon or after noon? It is the part before noon that shows us an increase in temperature. And did the activity level of animal A decrease? Yes, its activity level decreased, which means that statement D is correct. So let us choose the option that has statements A, C, and D as the correct answer. I'm sure that you see a problem right now. We do not have an option that has statements A, C, and D for an answer. In fact, when you look at the options, we can only choose two statements. This means that our analysis for one statement is wrong. Do you know which statement is wrong? Actually, statement A is wrong. So why is statement A wrong? This is because of the question above. In the question above, there's this very important phrase that gives us a clue as to why statement A is wrong. Can you spot the phrase for me? The phrase is based on the graph. And I want you to take a highlighter to highlight this phrase. When statement A says that animal A survives by burrowing underground, can you tell from the graph that animal A burrows underground? No, you cannot, because the graph only shows you the change in activity level of animal A and not the exact activity of animal A. Which is why we cannot choose statement A as a correct statement, because we cannot conclude the exact activity that animal A is carrying out. So let us change the tick for statement A to a cross. This leaves us with statements C and D as our final conclusion based on the graph, giving us our correct answer to be option number 4. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you found this video useful, do give us a thumbs up. If you would like to check out more videos by us, do click on the links on the right hand side. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye!